You stand on a riverbank at night, a flashlight beam trembling on the water, or you are alone in a dark forest, leaves whispering and every shadow feels like teeth. Or you are on a sheet of Arctic ice, light, flat, and endless, and you feel watched. The wind dies and suddenly you realize you are the prey. Every good horror has a stalker, but which real animals are most likely to actually hunt you rather than strike in self-defense? Which species will choose humans as food? And how often does it really happen? In this countdown, we rank the 8 real-life predators most likely to treat you as prey, based on history, attack patterns, and cold statistics. Some are pack hunters that test your nerves. Others are silent stalkers, and a few are monsters that wait beneath the surface. So which creature claims the ultimate hunter title? Let's begin our countdown at number 8. You are hiking a lonely trail as dusk settles and the forest goes silent. Somewhere behind you, padded feet move in sync. Never too close, never too far. Wolves are rarely truly predatory toward people, but history shows it can happen. In modern North America, only a handful of recorded attacks since 1950 have been clearly predatory, almost always involving packs that lost their fear of humans after scavenging garbage or being fed. In rural India, the risk is higher, with over 300 documented incidents since the 1950s, often when children stray alone near village edges. Wolves test and follow, and sometimes choose the weakest target. If you want to avoid making the list, travel in groups, never feed wild wolves, and do not leave food or trash behind, because the moment a pack learns people mean calories, you are not just a hiker anymore. Solitary predators are next, but for now, safety in numbers is your best bet. You are alone at a remote campsite, and the snapping of twigs behind your tent makes your skin crawl. Black bears live across the forests and mountains of North America, and usually they keep their distance. But when one decides to hunt, it does so with unnerving patience, slipping quietly through undergrowth and watching from a distance. Agency reviews show that a surprising number of fatal black bear attacks are classified as predatory. Often, a single adult male will quietly stalk a lone hiker or camper, sometimes for hours before moving in. These are not bluff charges or startled swats. These attacks are calculated and persistent, and almost always target someone who is by themselves, far from help. If you want to avoid being on the menu, travel in groups, store your food well away from camp, and if a black bear follows or circles you, treat it as a serious threat. Stand your ground, get loud, and be ready to fight back. Next up, bigger, stronger, and even harder to stop. You wake to the crunch of massive paws outside your tent. Brown bears, grizzlies are legends for their power, but most want nothing to do with people. It is the rare, desperate bear that changes the rules. In 1967, Glacier National Park saw 2 campers killed in separate valleys, hours apart, by 2 different grizzlies, each drawn in by years of easy garbage and careless food storage. That single night forced parks to ban open dumps and invent the strict food storage rules used across North America today. If a grizzly ever decides you are prey, running will only leave you tired. Make noise, carry bear spray, and never let your camp become a snack bar. The next predator does not need a forest at all, just endless ice, and you on foot. The wind bites at your face as you cross the Arctic ice, and every instinct says you're alone. But somewhere out there, a polar bear is watching, an obligate carnivore in a world with almost nothing else to eat. In polar bear country, humans are just calories on legs. These bears have been documented shadowing camps and travelers for hours, sometimes testing defenses, sometimes slipping right up to tents or cabins and forcing their way inside. Reports from Parks Canada and Svalbard include cases where a bear tore through a shelter wall before anyone could react. Most attacks are rare, but when they happen, it is almost always a hungry adult male treating you as prey. As sea ice shrinks and bears spend more time on land, the odds go up. Never travel alone, keep a 24-hour watch in camp, and carry deterrents you can use at range, because in the far north, you are not the hunter, you are the meat. If you think that is bad, wait until you meet the next predator, which hunts with silence and shadows, not muscle. You step outside after dark. The village is quiet. Then a flicker of movement near the courtyard wall, and you realize you are being watched. Leopards thrive on stealth, slipping through shadows at the edge of human life. In parts of India and Africa, these cats have learned to move among people. They sometimes enter homes at night, snatch victims before anyone can react, or drag someone into thick cover. The Rudraprayag leopard haunted Himalayan villages for 8 years, dragging more than 100 people from their beds or along moonlit pilgrimage routes, before Jim Corbett finally brought it down in 1926. Even today, leopards prowl the fringes of cities like Mumbai, taking advantage of garbage, stray dogs, and open doors. If you live near leopard country, lock up at night, keep children and livestock indoors, and never underestimate a predator that prefers to hunt when you're asleep. The next cat on the list is even bigger, and its appetite for humans has shaped entire legends. You push through tall grass, every step watched by eyes you cannot see. Tigers, the largest of all cats, are built for ambush. In the forests and grasslands of Asia, they hunt with stealth. In rare cases, some individuals learn to track and stalk humans with terrifying skill. Injury, old age, or a lack of wild prey can push a tiger over the edge. A broken tooth or a limp is sometimes all it takes for a predator to switch from deer to humans. The Champawat tigress in India and Nepal was officially credited with over 400 human kills before she was stopped in 1907. Once a tiger specializes, it can haunt villages for years, hunting by daylight and forcing entire communities to change their lives. If you ever have to walk in tiger country, never go alone, travel in a group, and always face the forest, because when a man-eater chooses you, there is no warning until it is too late. The next predator does not stalk from the shadows, it waits beneath the surface. You kneel at the riverbank filling a bucket, and the surface ripples just out of sight. Nile crocodiles own these waters, silent and submerged, waiting for the moment when someone steps too close. Across sub-Saharan Africa, daily life depends on rivers for drinking, washing, and fishing, and that routine brings people back to the same spots again and again. Crocodiles ambush with brutal speed, dragging victims under and hiding bodies in tangled roots. Surveys from Tanzania and Zambia suggest hundreds of people vanish this way every year, with many deaths written off as drownings or never reported at all. To stay off the crocodile's menu, never linger at the water's edge. Use raised platforms if you can, and never turn your back on murky water. If you thought land predators were bad, the next monster is even bigger and has no problem hunting you at sea. You paddle a narrow boat through brackish water, eyes scanning the mangroves. Then the surface erupts. Saltwater crocodiles can reach 6 meters and weigh over a ton, with jaws that crush at more than 3,000 pounds per square inch. In Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, attacks on fishers and villagers are so common that many go unreported. These giants have flipped boats, dragged people from shorelines, and left little behind but ripples. In salty country, assume every tidal creek hides a crocodile. Stay clear of the water's edge, keep your limbs inside the boat, and never trust still water, because if you are in their territory, you are already on the list. Across all 8 predators, one pattern stands out. When wild hunger meets human vulnerability, nature erases the line between hunter and prey. Out there, survival is always a two-way game.